welcome. So here we have a Commodore PET, a 2001 series. I got this a while ago, and I haven't done much. I know that I did turn it on, and I think there was some strange issue. Certainly it needs a little bit of a cleaning. It does. But I don't really know much about this machine, except that it is, of course, a 2001 series, and it is, of course, a Commodore professional computer, don't you know? So, I have plugged it in. Let us apply power and see what happens. Aha! So, it has arrived. Because it has the pound signs, it means, I believe, it has not been upgraded in some fashion. Also, in just looking here, it does look like the screen is not straight. It's twisted. I've heard, and by the way, speaking of monitors, I don't like monitors. They have tens of thousands of volts in there, and they can kill you. So, now, from what I remember, okay, we are a little off the table. Hang on here. From what I remember, this machine, there we go, had some issues with the monitor kicking in and out. Now, of course, now that I'm recording, it doesn't do it. Hang on here. It is dusty in here. Let's open it up. Yeah, here's dust. And yeah, lots of dust. And if you notice, along the front, there are no RAM chips, but also there are no holes in the circuit board. So what was happening before, I seem to remember, is something to do. This is the cable that runs up to the monitor and gives it all its good information. And maybe in my previous tinkerings I've got it resolved, but it seemed that when I open and close the machine, see, the cable will, of course, then bend a little bit, and the machine, or the video, was cutting in and out. And I did, now, of course, there is, excuse me, micro corrosion that builds up on the connectors. There is, or there can be, micro corrosion. So I have taken that thing off and on a time or two and tinkered with it. But before, I seem to remember, anytime I kind of moved the lid up and down, it was likely to just go away and then come back. And I thought, boy, whenever I get around to it, this will be interesting to show, because we can figure out what's going wrong. But it's not happening, of course. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this off. And just looks okay. And I'll put it back on. But definitely, if this connector is not plugged in, you will not get video. So let's see. Well, so much for showing you about the mystery of this machine. The keyboard had some keys that were kind of stuck down a bit, and twisted a little bit. see the D key is still a little off. So there we have. Now, I'm not sure if you can see very well on, I say the monitor is a little askew. This little program I've written that says 10 print. Now, sorry, I shouldn't have. Question mark is a short form for print. I don't know why it is, but anyway, if you see, I typed in question mark, quote, strange, space, quote, colon, sorry, quote, semicolon, colon, go to 10. So when I press run, this will be strange. And now, more so than ever, I can see that there is more space here than there is over on the other side. So it is definitely a little off. It is. It is. Now, so at some point, what I've heard is that basically what it takes to fix that is you go to the back of the monitor, and there's a little thing that you just have to tweak a little to the left or to the right. And who knows, maybe at some point I will be brave enough to do this. Perhaps. I am not sure. I've never been zapped by a monitor, but I don't want to start now. So, of course, what I really wanted to show you is that the monitor was cutting in and out. Or the signal, it wasn't that the power was cutting in and out. The signal from the circuit board, there was something squirrely. And it would just go off and come on and go off and come on. But now, of course, it won't fail. Shocking. I'm going to type in a command that may not work. I don't know. See, remember I said this PET had not been updated. No, catalog. See that? So this, I'll have to look it up to see which model or which version of BASIC. Maybe it's just 2.0 rather than 4.0. But you see, look at that! It went away. Alright. And it came back. I didn't do anything. Alright. Let's see here. Hello. See, it used to be when I would open it. Well, there, you saw it. I'm suspecting I will take some sort of cleaner to that connector there. That would be, let me get the hood up. And by the way, it's still working just fine right now. It is. But this connector here, I think, it's on really good. I'm just wiggling it a bit. Well, while looking in here, I mean, everything is dusty. But dust is not like rust. It just sits there. It's funny though, you can tell where people have touched things. For example, right here in the front of the board, it's not really dusty. And these two chips, here and here, something has been around there, because the circuit board, which should be nice and green, which is completely covered in a glorious layer of dust, somebody has touched those. I don't know if that means they've been replaced or just touched. I don't know. Anyway, as you can see, remember, if you've looked at things before, you saw that I had a machine kind of like this, and there were holes drilled in here to prevent we end users from upgrading to 32K. There are no holes, so one would think at some point I could upgrade this. I don't know what else is involved besides sticking the chips. There's probably some jumper or something somewhere. Although looking on the board I don't see any jumpers. There must be something that I must do to tell it. But maybe not. Maybe it just says, hey look, more memory. Certainly if I was going to do it, I would install sockets, I believe. I would. Ooh, hang on. Dust. Ugh. Clumps of dust. Go away. Go away, dust. Ugh. Ah, okay. The monitor shut off. Did that dust do it? What's going on here? What happened? Maybe it was the dust that was holding it together. Aha! And now it is back. Oh, that is strange. Very strange. There's a little smuts on the screen. I will go at this with, of course, at some point, a magic eraser, and it will be beautiful. There is on the front of this a sticker from a store called Computer Circuit. I don't know where it was, although it probably says on it. Maybe it was London. I don't know. Because this machine came from London, Ontario Sales Service. Oh yeah, London, Ontario, Canada. So I have never been to such a store. I did not know it existed. But I'm not going to remove that sticker because that sticker is part of the history of this machine. Strange as it might be. So I guess I will have to tinker and putter and try and figure out what is making the monitor go off. See if I tap it. It doesn't do anything. It was when I... Aha! Okay. I open, I close, and oh, it's predictable. Oh, it's off, it's on, it's on, it's off. Ugh. Nothing like something that works a bit and doesn't. But I'd rather have it work most of the time and me be able to figure out what's going on than it just come up dead and me think the whole machine is dead. So, it's not dead. So, back to one last thing. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to turn it on. If you look at the screen there, it says Commodore Basic. It does not say 4.0. It just says Commodore Basic. 1,500, 359 bytes free, and the cursor, it flashes strong and proud. So, this machine seems to be quite happy, quite good, and probably, as we're now some, 40 plus years, 40? Yeah, more than 40 years since this was made, I may not, in fact, want to do anything about upgrading it at all, because just like the sticker on the front, it is an original. It is. So, I will continue to explore this machine and tidy it up and clean it up, and who knows, maybe I'll sell it, maybe I won't. I'm just not sure. I am not. I'm just touching the screen to see. I'm recording on an iPad, and I just touched to see if I could get things a little better in focus on the screen. Maybe, maybe not. Hard to tell. As it happens, later today I will go and get new glasses. This should help me see things better, I believe. There, I'm in the background. I'm not sure. I worked on a movie at one point in my high school days called Hide and Seek, and they used always they use the reflection off this monitor to show the characters. Anyway, we will continue to explore this machine.